Okay, today is March 23rd, 2016. As you can see, now my permanent license plate is on this vehicle. And the reason why I do this, when I take and put plates on a car, first thing I do, I put the plates on the vehicle. I make sure I take a picture of the license plate on the vehicle for one reason. Okay, because there was a 30-day plate on there, right? Okay, so the 30-day plate would have expired probably Sunday. So now I have everything I need. I got my 30-day plate registration. I still got that, but I put it someplace where I can refer back to it in case something happens. So I put the title and the e-check and the registration, temporary registration, where I can find it. And also make sure that you keep this handy, because even though you don't anticipate anything will go wrong, or somebody might vandalize or hit the car, or a tree fall on it, or somebody steals the car. So what you do is take your documentation. See, so this is the front. So I just put the regular plates on there. I didn't choose to put the regular plates I had off my Neon on this car. I chose to get another set of plates. So in a way you can do that. And as you can see, I put the little frame on there of the place where I got it from. So here's the thing about doing this. This is a good practice, because I did the same thing when I had a Dodge Neon. I did the same thing when I got my Plymouth that I used to have, I don't have anymore. Take the documentation of everything you have done, which is the license plate, the registration, the e-check, the title, your insurance policy. When you change over to your insurance policy and the registration, you want to make sure that you have that policy and the identification cards with you at all times. And make sure that if this car is going to be parked or wherever it's going to be at, make sure that you check on your vehicle, because people will steal a vehicle. They will vandalize your car. And so me changing the plates on there, that's just something I do, sometimes. But it doesn't make any difference how many times you have a vehicle, or how many times you may change the license plate every 2 years or not. And so that's what you need to do. Make sure that you keep this information handy. This video will be used for my documentation and personal use and reference. So if anything should happen to this car or not, if something should happen, if somebody scratches it, or God forbid if somebody do something like that, but this is Cleveland, Ohio, and unfortunately people do not care about damaging or vandalizing or stealing your car or hitting your car. So what you do is make sure that you keep the documentation, even if you change the coverage on your car. So this car has full coverage. It has roadside assistance on it. The other thing is this. Always make sure that you keep your car looking the way it's supposed to. I mean, if you had any work done to the front end of the car, you had any body work done to it, make sure that you keep documentation, and make sure that you can always refer back to these videos, because this is kind of a cloudy video, because it's kind of a overcast, cloudy day out. It looks like it's been raining, but I got out here and put the plates on here early because I didn't want to be out here when the wind was up and if it starts to rain again. So don't fail to take this step. If you have to do it, you do it. Also, if you have to go after your insurance company about your vehicle, if you have to submit a claim and they say that they're not going to pay, here's the thing about that. This video, all you have to do is submit your paperwork. Make copies of your registration, your identification card, your policy, and all that stuff. And if you have to, then you make a copy to submit it to an attorney. Let the attorney look at your paperwork, your documentation. And if you have to go after the insurance company or the other party who vandalizes or hits your car, or if your car is damaged by a City of Cleveland vehicle, or if it's damaged by accidental things like nature, people have had things happen to their cars, like a tree fall on their car or something else happens. So always be prepared to take these steps. I've done it for years. When I had my Dodge Neon, when I first got it, I took a lot of pictures and video. I took a lot of pictures and video with my Plymouth Neon that I don't have anymore. And everybody knows what happened. I decided to get rid of that car because I had put a lot of money into it. So now I don't want to think about that car. Okay, so now my primary focus is going to be on this car here, keeping it safe, keeping it parked where it's supposed to be parked at, and also keeping your vehicle clean. Keep your vehicle clean. Keep your vehicle washed on a regular basis. And also be mindful that this is Cleveland, Ohio. This is not a nice neighborhood. And people do nasty, mean things just because they want to do something to, and they're mean, and people have had it happen. And around here right now, the bad problem is auto theft is up. Auto theft is up. Vandalism on vehicles is up. Also, the bad problem is when you have somebody who's been trying to figure out who this vehicle belongs to, which is none of their business, and we know it's none of their business, you see, so you make a mental note of who's watching your car. Okay? It don't make any difference if they know it's your car or not. It's not none of their business, first of all. So what you do is make sure that you pay attention to who is watching your car besides you, because nosy neighbors or not nosy neighbors will be watching your car to see who gets in and out of that car, which is crazy, right? It's crazy. Well, I tell you what, it might be crazy, but I tell you what I'm gonna tell you, like I said before, it's none of nobody's business. The only people who should know who this car belongs to is you, the owner, your insurance company, and that's it. You and your insurance company. You're the owner and your insurance company and the BMV. The BMV is the only other person or agency besides your own mechanic that needs to know this is now your vehicle. And yes, this is good documentation, and I tell anybody, if you want to refer back to what I'm telling you, subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll tell you the same thing. I used to take Polaroid pictures of my vehicles when I had Fords, in the 1990s, I used to take a Polaroid picture of my car, and I kept every receipt of everything I had done to the car, no matter what it was, whether it was oil or filter change, whether it was the tires, whether it was the brakes, or whether something was done to the car. Keep pictures and receipts of everything. Everything that's been done to this car thus far, I have receipts for it, and that's why I do that, because that helps the value of your car too. It really does.